Yo, what's up everybody? I'm Eric Hansen with Backpacking TV. Today I'm having all of my favorite down jackets and I'm gonna be going through each one, what I really love about them to help you be able to find the backcountry down jacket for your needs. Oh no! Let's go. Ah. Oh, did you find a bed? Well, that was a jarring intro for such a peaceful early morning here. Sorry about that. But yes, let's keep on moving. So I'm here at my van. I'm about to go on a backpacking trip, and I have an assortment of my down jackets here. And I thought it might be helpful to give you guys a rundown of my down jackets and help you, understand what I think about when I'm choosing one for a backpacking trip, or certainly if I'm choosing one for what to buy. Because these babies can often be pretty pricey, and so I want to help you understand what it is, what goes into a good down jacket that fits for whatever adventure you're on. Before we get into the video, I'd like to give a quick shout out to LEDLENSER for sponsoring this video. They're helping make this possible. LEDLENSER makes amazing headlamps that I use all the time in the backcountry. They're great headlamps with great illumination and staying power. Their batteries are super awesome. So if you want to check out LEDLenserusa.com, if you need a headlamp, check them out there. Let's get back to the down. Let's just talk about why down in the first place. Why not just use clothing that you already own? Well, the real thing with down jackets is that it's the best on warmth to weight ratio. So if you've heard that phrase tossed around before, what that means is it's the lightest way to get warm. So a jacket like this might only weigh 7 or 8 ounces, 10 ounces, something in that range, but it can keep you warm in a big winter storm. And the other ways to get that warmth, you're gonna need jackets that weigh 3 or 4 pounds, such as what my cameraman here is wearing. That thing is a beast, and I don't recommend backpacking with it. So it's really important to have good down. They are so light, so compressible that it just makes them the perfect choice for backpacking. Why should you choose down over, say, cotton, like a sweatshirt or something like that? Well, if you've been backpacking before, the answer is pretty obvious. Cotton and other materials like cotton are just really poor if they get wet. They're just not very warm, and they are heavy and bulky. So having a good down jacket in your arsenal is really important. But like I said, these can be really expensive. This one here is like 360 bucks. This one here was like a $700 jacket. I mean, that's just kind of like a stupid amount of money. So I want to help you make your purchasing decisions a little bit easier. Okay, so I have a full gamut here of down jackets that are going to be suitable for backpacking. So starting on the low end, not in terms of price, but in terms of warmth. This is a really lightweight jacket. This is the CERIUM hoodie from ARCTERYX. Now, it's pricey. Anything ARCTERYX makes is gonna have like an extra $150 on it, just so that you can get that delightful little bird bones thing going on the jacket. So this weighs in at 7.6 ounces. So it's a really light jacket. It has 850 fill down in it. But what does that even mean? What does 850 fill down mean? Fill power down is, that's a way to measure down quality. So if you've seen 800 fill down, 600 fill down, whatever it might be, what that is telling you is that the down used is higher quality if it's like 850 over say 600. It requires less down to achieve a certain amount of loft, which means it doesn't have to pump it full of more down, which is obviously then going to be heavier. That number does not necessarily indicate how warm a jacket is, because this is 850 fill down, this is 800 fill down, and this is a significantly warmer jacket. Kovu, stay close. Kovu, come on. Kovu, over here, come on. He's excited to be going somewhere. Okay, so it is important to know that what the fill power kind of is in reference to, but it is not necessarily a direct indicator of warmth. So, because if you have more down, then this is going to be like I need to bust out my Harvard law degree to figure this one out, or maybe a science degree. That's probably more important. But anyway, so this jacket is great. And I love using this jacket, and this is my 3-season jacket. I actually really like backpacking with this jacket when it's summertime. So I always have a jacket like this with me, even if I'm going backpacking in the desert where I'm really not that concerned about cold temps. But it is just the most comfortable thing to throw on after I've been on the trail. It's very light, it's very comforting, but I've seen that if the temps start to drop into the 40s, I just feel like this is kind of overmatched. It technically says it's a winter jacket, but it's really not. It's their lightest, it's ARCTERYX's lightest down jacket. And if you're really gonna be doing something with winter temps, or just like into the 30s, into the 20s, into the teens, I just really recommend something a little bit more robust, because I know me, and part of it is that I'm just a desert guy, so I definitely get cold when it's in the 30s and 20s and stuff like that, and I just want a warmer jacket. So I've spent enough time on that one. That's a good 3-season jacket, not a good winter jacket. I don't recommend it for winter. Here I have the brand new Big AGNES ZETTO jacket. Now this is another good example of down fill power. This has 850 fill down, which is about as high quality as you can get. I think I've technically seen 900 somewhere before, but 850 is about the high end of that fill power rating. But this jacket also is super, super light. This weighs in at 8 ounces. This weighs in at 7.6 ounces, but you can tell that this has quite a bit more loft to it. And often you can just tell by how puffy these jackets are. Like, this is about twice as thick. It's kind of, maybe, this is an unscientific measurement here, but this has about twice as much loft going on in here. So this is going to be a much more suitable jacket for colder temps like what we're experiencing right now. Even though it looks plenty warm out here because it's sunshine in the desert, it's been getting down below freezing each night, and so having a jacket like this is really nice. Another thing to note is that this is an ultralight jacket. So Big AGNES has saved a lot of weight in the materials. This is only 12 denier in the thickness of this fabric, which means it's ultra thin. It's like, well, I don't know how to describe it other than saying it's ultra thin. It's also really crinkly. It's a very noisy jacket, which might annoy some people. And sometimes it annoys me a little bit. But just to note that sometimes those super ultralight jackets or sleeping bags, they rely on this super thin material that tends to be really crinkly. But again, this is an 850 fill power down, but I've noticed that even this is not necessarily quite as warm as this jacket. The jacket that I'm wearing right now is an 800 fill power down jacket from COTOPAXI. It's the FUEGO. And I just it's kind of become my go-to cold weather jacket, because it is, while it's warmer, this is a 14-ounce jacket. This is an 8-ounce jacket. So technically this is, twice as heavy almost. And it doesn't compress quite as small in my backpack, but just that extra couple of degrees of warmth, I really like having it. And then I also really like that this one has a bigger hood. This has the biggest hood of any of these 3 jackets, and I think that that's designed so that it can go around a mountaineering helmet. If you are into climbing or anything like that, making sure that you can put that down hood over your helmet is a really nice thing to do, because then if you're just sitting there belaying somebody or not being super active, you can throw that hood up and still keep warm. Okay, so these are my 3 kind of most go-to jackets, but I do want to show you the jacket that is kind of like my favorite jacket of all time, and it's this monster from NORRONA. Now, NORRONA is a Norwegian company that just makes crazy awesome gear for Scandinavia and the mountains up there. This is a monster jacket, and I believe this also has 850 fill power down, but it is just obviously way, way beefier. So when would you ever use a jacket like this? Well, trips to Finland in the winter, or if you're just an ice climber or somebody who really spends a lot of time in cold weather temperatures. When I was a guide, I used to have to guide all through the winter, and I just really was not interested in being cold. So that was when if I was spending, say, a week in the backcountry in winter conditions, I just want something that's a lot warmer than any of these types of jackets, because I really need to be comfortable. And like you don't want to be in survival mode all the time. Now, this is a very expensive jacket. However, I did purchase this on Gear Trade, and I saved about $500. So I only paid like 180 bucks for it. So there are some good ways to get some good gear, not just down jackets, but sleeping bags, all sorts of gear from places like Gear Trade, if you want to save some coin on previously used. This was, I believe, used once and then returned, and then the store couldn't sell it, you know, as new. So I scored a great deal. But this is obviously rated for some really cold temperatures. And I have been in this jacket down into like -10 degrees Fahrenheit. And this made all the difference in the world, having a jacket like this. A couple other things that I really like looking for in jackets, any of these types of jackets, is interior pockets on the inside. This is a great place to put cell phones, walkie-talkies if you need to be using a walkie-talkie, anything that's battery powered, because in cold temperatures, those batteries are gonna die super, super fast if it's not getting some of that warmth off of your core body. So I believe this jacket has that one, and nope, just the one. Some of these jackets have multiple interior pockets, which I really like. There is another one right here that is also will help keep stuff warm. But then it's just a very warm jacket with a massive hood. And some of these hoods are then also cinchable, you know, if you're tying them around a hat, or you're using them around a mountaineering helmet. But sometimes you don't want that much stuff going on in there. So you can ease them up. And it's super awesome jacket. So it's perfectly acceptable to purchase, say, 600 fill down jackets or less than that super max, if you just understand that that's gonna require more down to get the warmth that you're gonna want. Now, again, down is my go-to, but there are good synthetic jackets on the market. Now, why would you even want to go with down versus synthetic? Well, down just generally packs up much smaller than synthetic, but synthetic has traditionally been more suitable for wet conditions or anywhere where you might get wet, because down requires loft to keep you warm, whereas a synthetic jacket does not. Down clumps up when wet. Synthetics do not clump up when wet, so therefore they can keep you warm even in wet conditions. But a lot of these jackets now, this is kind of a newer development in backpacking, have what's called DWR, which is down water resistance or durable water resistance. And that is generally applied to the individual down feathers. So I believe this jacket and this jacket both have that DWR, which means if it were to rain or if I were to get some moisture from a storm or say melting snow on me, that it would not penetrate the jacket, or excuse me, it would not stick to the down in the jacket, causing it to clump up, causing it to not keep me warm, which would then put me in a potentially dangerous position. So I like to look for that DWR factor on my anything down now, sleeping bags or jackets. And I think that that is a good indicator. They have come a long way with also helping to make them less ecologically dangerous, because the DWR is becoming much cleaner than when it first happened on the market. Okay, that's a lot of technical mumbo jumbo. I hope that some of that maybe helps you in your purchasing decisions, because yeah, a $200 jacket can be just as good as a $370 jacket, and you don't have to always pay for just the higher priced item. It doesn't always mean better. So anyway, that's my rundown on down jackets. It's amazing to have a good down jacket in your arsenal for backpacking. It's truly my favorite thing to just have a good down jacket on me pretty much all times, and it's kind of cool out. If you have a favorite down jacket, I would love to hear from you what it is, because I want to check it out. I'm kind of obsessed with down jackets, as you can maybe tell here. That's it from me. I hope that you found this helpful. If you need any further guidance or advice, hit me up with a question or a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you did enjoy this video, please give it that thumbs up. And we'd love to see you around here more here on Backpacking TV. I need to go get a second cup of coffee. I'm not thinking straight. It's still early. So anyway, I'm Eric Ainson. I'll see you later.